Welcome to all the students in the biology class. Today we will discuss about chapter first, the living world. Now the first question arises, what are the characteristic features of the living organism? According to one definition, living organisms are open systems that maintain homeostasis. Living organisms are composed of cells. Living organisms have a life cycle. They undergo metabolism. They can grow. They adapt to their environment. They respond to stimuli and they reproduce and they show the process of evolution. Now, the second one is, what is the diversity in the living world? So, what is biodiversity? The biodiversity refers to the number and variety of organisms on the planet Earth. Simply, the diversity means the variety, the type of organism. According to IUCN or International Union of Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources, till now 1.7 to 1.8 million species of different organisms have been recorded. Yet millions of unknown organisms are to be identified. These organisms are distributed over a wide range of habitat including dense forests, thermal vents, dry deserts, hot springs, etc. So, biodiversity can be defined as sum total of all the organisms in a particular area in a particular habitat. Now, the second question arises, how we identify the different type of the organism, or what is the technical term for giving the name to these particular organisms. So the naming the organism using a set system of terms is referred as nomenclature, and before nomenclature we have to identify a particular organism with the help of the characteristic features. So before nomenclature, identification of an organism is essential. The scientists all over the world have made a system to assign a scientific name to each known organism which is accepted by all. And these names provided by International Code for Botanical Nomenclature ICBN and by the International Code for Zoological Nomenclature ICZN. ICBN gave the name to the plants and ICZN gave the name to the animals. And one more thing, whatever name is given by the ICZN and ICBN, it is accepted by all. For example, if we see the name of the Solanum tuberosum, potato, in UP it is called as aloo, but in the Maharashtra it is called as batata. So in India, in different states the names are different, but according to biology, in each and every state, in each and every country, the name is unique and that name is called as the scientific name. So, these scientific names are given by the ICBN and ICZN, and for the viruses, these names are given by the International Code of Virus Classification and Nomenclature. Now, coming to the next one, the name of the each organism has two components. The first one is the generic name and the second one is the species epithet. So to giving these two names to a particular organism is called as the binomial nomenclature, and Carolus Linnaeus is the father of binomial nomenclature. He gave these names to the particular organisms, and Carolus Linnaeus gave some methods for the writing these scientific names or these biological names. So these biological names are generally in Latin but are written in italics. They are either Latinized irrespective of their origin or derived from Latin. In the scientific name of an organism, the first part is genus and second is species epithet. When the scientific name is handwritten, both parts are underlined separately. When printed, typed in italics to indicate their Latin origin. The genus starts with a capital letter and the species starts with a small letter. The next one is because we know in each and every biological name there are two epithets, genus epithet and the species epithet. So now let's come with some taxonomical categories. The first category of the taxonomy is species. So, and this species is the lowest taxon. What is species? Species are a group of similar organisms which can interbreed freely among themselves to produce fertile offsprings. For example, if we are taking two animals like tiger and lion, then the scientific name of tiger is Panthera tigris, while the lion is Panthera leopersica. So this persica and this tigris are the species. The next one is genus. What is genus? A group of related species which has more characters in common in comparison to species of another or the other genera, then it is called as the genus. In the case of lion, leopard and tiger, the scientific name of lion is Panthera leopersica, the tiger is Panthera tigris and the leopard is Panthera pardus. In these three organisms, the Panthera is common. It means it is the name of a genus. Then the family, a group of related genera with considerable amount or considerable number of similarities but lesser than the genus and the species, then it is called as family. Then order. Order is an assemblage of families which exhibit a few similar characteristic features. Then the class, this include the related orders, and phylum included the related classes with the few similarities. Now coming to the next one, that is the kingdom. It is the highest category of taxonomy. Animals included in the animal kingdom, plants included in the plant kingdom. Now coming to the taxonomical aids. What are taxonomical aids? Each and everything which help in studying the animals and the plants can be considered as the taxonomical aid, and these taxonomical aids are helpful to study a particular organism. So these taxonomical aids are, the first one is herbarium. In the herbarium we can preserve the specimens of plants in the dried conditions. The second one taxonomical aid is the botanical garden. Botanical garden are the specialized gardens where living plants are grown for scientific studies or references. The third one is the zoological parks. So specialized places where living animals are kept in protected environment under human care. So such type of the specialized places are called as zoological parks, and the one of the most famous park of India is the National Zoological Park, and it is in Delhi. And the next one is the museum. As you can see in on your screen, there are different type of the museums, but now I am showing you the museum of St. John's Senior Secondary School. So this is the biology museum, or we can say it is a zoological museum, or we can say it is a botanical museum, because in this museum we are having the specimens of animals as well as the plants. So this is the museum of St. John's Senior Secondary School. And this is also a taxonomical aid. When you come to school, then you can easily study the different type of the animals and the plants here. So thank you so much, and God bless you all.